Hi, this is Wonky, and this is the Would You Build It series, and this time it's Brothers War. Introducing the commanders this time is Peggy, myself, Wonky, and now introducing Ninja.
Hello.
Okay, so first up it's Ashnod, Flesh Mechanist. She's a human artificer. She's a 1/1 with Death Touch. When she attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, make a tapped Power Stone token. Second ability is you can pay 5, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 3/3 colourless zombie artifact creature token.
It's a nice cheap commander. That goes in its favour.
There's Death Toucher for one. Isn't too bad. Turn 1 Death Touch.
Okay, so if I want to run through the abilities in order, when she attacks, so once a turn, on your turn, you get an ability where you have to sacrifice another creature. So tokens or something that comes back, like the favourite skeleton, you make a tapped Power Stone token. It doesn't say it on this card, on the other cards. Power Stone token says it can't be used to cast non-artifact spells, so I've decided you can use it for abilities. Does that make it any better? Is that worth trading a creature for, even if it's a token?
I don't particularly like that part of it.
No.
You're in black, so there's creatures you can bring back. You've got Reanimate. If you do have something, you have to. I don't know why you would trade any creature for a colourless artifact.
I don't like the fact that you want to cast your commander early, as in turn 1, but you're not going to have any creatures in play to sacrifice.
Yeah.
It doesn't scale very well. Second ability, if you do manage to, let's say 5 turns in a row, you sack another creature, you have 5 Power Stones. You can exile one of those creatures from your graveyard and make a 3/3 zombie. Is that any good?
That's getting more interesting for the zombie deck, not using it as an artifact deck.
If somehow in mono black you manage to ramp to 15 mana, you can make 3 3/3s if you have 3 creatures in your graveyard. Is that 15 mana's worth of ability?
That is not good value.
It sounds bad value, but because they're artifacts, it would enable shenanigans.
It'd be okay for an infinite mana sink, but beyond that.
But then it's only infinite mana if you've got infinite creatures in your graveyard.
Oh yeah, so not even then.
I think you could sack the zombies for mana because she's Ashnod. I think it's better as a themed commander. You'd run Ashnod's Altar and maybe sack the zombies.
Yeah.
I would run it in the 99 in a fair few decks because it's a 1-drop Death Touch.
Yeah.
And it's got a little extra value if you want to.
So good as 1-drop value Death Touch in the 99. So bad commander. Is anyone interested in building it?
No.
No, it is. Okay. In that case, up next, we've got Drafner, founder of Latinam. He's 1 and a blue for a human artificer advisor. 2 abilities. You can pay 1 and a blue, return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. And you can pay 3 and tap him to copy target artifact spell you control.
I quite like this, to be honest. Screams value, which I love.
See, when you say value, I hear infinite mana sink and combos.
It's got to be pointed out it's copy target artifact spell, not copy target artifact. So it's got to be on the stack when you copy it.
Yes.
And you have to tap him to do it. But if you have...
But you're in blue. You've got
That's it.
endless untappers in blue.
What's the blue enchantment that untaps when a creature enters?
Intruder Alarm.
Intruder Alarm, so
There are several combos using Intruder Alarm in this commander.
that's it. This will go...
If you want to play combo, it's a good commander.
There'll be little bits of value. What's the 5 man you want to tap for colour, for 3 of any colour?
Gilded Lotus.
Gilded Lotus. Because what you really want to do is have something that taps for mana and have something that makes like Foundry Inspector abilities and make them cost less. And try and go like a 4-card combo rather than just...
It's definitely playing around and comboing and
That's it, with artifact creatures, you'll create a couple of untaps.
clever little combinations.
It's going to be another solo deck though. You're not going to be heavy on interaction or what, are you?
No.
It's going to be...
I think it's another one where you slide in an Ashnod's Altar and you sack a creature token for mana, have Intruder Alarm, have double untap triggers, and with it on the stack, bounce it to hand.
It's a good commander. It does some interesting things, but it's not one I would choose to build myself, and I like artifacts.
Yeah. Interesting, but I like it, but I don't think I'd build it.
I'd perhaps put it also into a 99 just to get some graveyard value.
Yeah.
So, not a commander. We'll move on. So next we've got Felden, or Vonum Excavator, 1 and a red, another human artificer. The 2/2 with haste, he can't block. Whenever he's dealt damage, exile that many cards from the top of your library, choose one of them, till the end of your next turn you may play that card.
I don't mind so much for can't block. Doesn't bother me.
Well, who's going to block him for you?
Yeah, that's it.
He's a 2/2. No one's, unless you strap him up with lots and lots of gear, no one's blocking him for you to give you value.
No. And then you're wasting cards on burn spells, hitting yourself.
You'd have to make him indestructible.
There are plenty of red pingers that can hit yourself, but
And you lose the cards
Do you
from
want to
it.
do
They
much?
don't go back to your library.
as a commander, no, definitely not. I'm a 99. It's
Still
impulse
bad.
draw for red.
I wouldn't play it.
Let's say you swing it. Is it a May trigger? That'll damage. So it's not a May trigger. So if you swing him at someone, they flash in a big creature, or they have a 50-50 commander or something sat there. Let's say you make a horrible mistake. You exile in the top however many cards of your library. You get to choose one of them.
Yeah.
I like the fact they've made Felden, but I'm not keen on the card.
I like the original Felden. This one's terrible.
Yeah, it's too many hoops.
Anyone building this as a commander in mono red?
Not a chance.
No, not for me.
No, it is. So up next is Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. He's 1 black for a Phyrexian Praetor with 3/3. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life if they do draw a card. Second ability, 4 black. Discard X cards, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library. You may play lands, and cast spells from among cards, exile this way without paying their mana costs. I'm not interested in the second ability, but the first one's great.
I like both.
I like both.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice balanced card.
How, with a second ability, are you refilling your hand in mono black? Because the point of this is to look at it as a commander. So if he's leading the troops, you're spending 7 mana.
Oh, Phyllis draws you plenty of cards in black.
Yeah. I'd lean into recursion, I think. Although you are going to be having to draw recursion on your next turn. So it's a bit unstable. It's not overpowered, is it?
So how many cards can you get in your hand in mono black that it's worth paying 7 mana to spin the dice?
You don't even need to use the second ability. It's a nice card. Using the first with the second as a bonus.
You both said you liked it.
I do like the second ability.
I do like it. I just don't think it's
I don't think
overpowered.
you should use it as the main ability of a card. I think it's a lovely bonus built in.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody's just tutored.
You can cast spells without paying their mana costs. So that's 7 mana, it's not for nothing. If your hand's terrible, you can discard. I don't know why your hand would be terrible if you built the deck.
Yeah.
But if you happen to get wheeled into like a load of lands, or you know someone's playing a combo deck,
Yeah.
or even just mono green, someone's playing value. But again, my issue is how you rebuild your hand. But I think that brings us nicely back to the first one, and I think it leads to how I would build this. Because this is one that I would build, especially if it had a different colour. Like, if it had 2 colours, I'd definitely build it.
You're thinking good?
If it didn't look so expensive, I'd just build tokens. I would rather it was black-green, obviously it won't be, and just go Gary tokens, or something, or blue-black, so I could sneak through with unblockable, and deal lots of combat damage. I would pay the life to draw the cards, because that leads you to the second ability.
You fixed the card.
Well, one of the black tokens is so dull. There's Endrick Sar, which will get you little tokens that he makes.
There are a few other nice black tokens.
But it's sneaking them through. That's it. Do you go zombies?
I'm not sure how I'd build it, but I like it as a commander.
Yeah.
It'd be an interesting build around.
Yeah, I like the potential.
And it does things that other commanders don't do.
Yeah.
Does anyone care that he's going to draw your opponent's cards? It's going to encourage people to not hit you.
I enjoy theft. So yeah, I do like the second ability.
I love the fact that if somebody tutors to the top of their library, you can just steal it.
Are you leaving 7 mana open to steal it?
You wouldn't leave 7 mana open, but if you happen to have 7 mana open, which can happen in black.
I've never had 7 mana open in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a big ask.
It's a mono blue player thing to do. I don't do that. But I would try and build him. I would build something fun for him. Probably zombie tokens. I just don't know how to refill my hand other than hit people and pay my life. So I'd have to find a way to give them all lifelink.
You just have to incentivize your opponents to hit each other. That's it.
I don't know if there's any mono black going, like you said earlier. That would be fun.
Yeah. There's the enchantment where you get zombies for attacking. And
Yeah.
one of the
That works.
cases.
I think Villis would be perfect in this deck for topping up your hand.
So we like him as a creature. I like him as a commander. How do you two feel as a commander?
As a commander, I'd be happy to work around and build it.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
looks
well-
cool. That's a great ad.
Yeah.
Someone's going to use it as a playmat immediately.
Oh, definitely.
So next we have Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. She's 2 and a green for an Elf Druid Scout. You can tap her to add 2 mana in any combination of colours. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of a creature or creature card. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on Gwenna and untap it.
I think this is a good commander for beginner players.
Yeah.
It's nice and simple, and it does
stuff,
things.
doesn't
It gets bigger, it provides you mana. There's any combination of colours, which is quite handy.
But if we would do it as part of this series, it's as your commander. So that bit, you just add 2 green mana. Because if she's the commander, it's 2 green. And encourage you to cast creatures with power 5 or greater, which is quite easy in green.
Yeah, that's what it wants to do, isn't it?
I don't like it because it's an elf. There's enough strong elves that tap for mana. This goes infinite.
The fact it's an elf is what I like for beginner commanders. We're not beginner commanders, so we wouldn't generally run it as a commander.
Well-supported tribe.
Elves, druids are both quite nice for beginners because there's so much support, and it's all synergistic.
Yeah, if you're a starter, you're going to have fun with this, aren't you?
If you're not a starter, then it's a 99 card, possibly.
Well, the first thing I thought was it goes in my Animal deck, because this and Team of Sabertooth use the ability. Again, stuff like Meteor Golem, which is probably one of my favourite cards because it's just so easy to cast. Just goes infinite with Anima. It makes this infinitely big, and you just kill someone.
Yeah.
And I've already popped this one into my Ragged Ragga deck.
Right, so we like the card, but it's a very powerful 99er.
Yes.
A good beginner, big creature tribal starter deck.
Yeah. I'd be happy to build a deck for a new player using this commander.
Yeah.
But not for a
big green stompies.
For normal commander player. It's a little basic.
Okay, so next, Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. It's just a red and a green, so nice and easy to get out for a 3/3. You can sacrifice him. If you do, legendary creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible till end of turn.
Terrible.
Is it like Linvala in blue and white?
It's
similar.
It's a bit like Linvala with extra steps. You can't give them hexproof, and they have to be legendary creatures.
Yeah.
It's in Gruul, so it is generally an aggro deck.
But here's the commander. It means you're sacrificing your commander. The commander tax alone means it's going to get out of hand.
Yeah. How many times are you going to be able to use this really while still doing other stuff?
If you've got the Savage Ventmaw and things like that, you can get quite a lot of mana back in red and green.
The Savage Ventmaw isn't legendary. And if you're running this, why would you? I can understand running like Savage Ventmaw as ramp, but it's legendary creature tribal.
Yeah.
Legendary creature tribal and board wipes.
Something you chuck into a Joda deck.
Basically, yeah, it was made to help Joda.
Yeah.
It's protection, basically, as a commander itself.
Yeah, there's no reason for this to be legendary from a commander.
Even from a thematic point of view, I don't think I like the idea of a bodyguard being legendary.
I think the only reason it is legendary is so it fits in Joda.
Too many downsides.
Contradiction.
Not enough to do for a commander for me.
So, bad commander?
Bad commander.
Next. Another 2-drop, Harbin Vanguard Aviator. It's just white and a blue for a 3/2. It's a human soldier that's flying. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain flying until end of turn. Does anyone have any strong feelings on this?
I like the card. I like it as a commander. I wouldn't build it.
It's a bit middle of the road.
It's middle. He's easy to get out.
It's great value. 3/2 flyer for just blue and white.
He's got built-in evasion, and he leads you to soldier tribal.
It's a very, very good value card. Human soldier are both good tribes to work with.
But you're going tokens, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's just another token deck.
It's all on the card.
Yeah.
You're building soldiers. You don't need to build anything else except soldiers. Any soldier creatures, any kind of soldier token maker, you're going to hit really hard.
Well, I think it's going to be one of those where
it's going to be
deck's the same.
Yeah, straightforward.
Yeah.
You can put in an Odric, things like that.
You could swear out of left field and build a Voltron. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah, why not?
He's a 2-drop with 3 power and flying.
But then how much are you investing in making your soldiers versus
that's it.
Your Voltron?
I never considered Voltron.
Purely because if I look for Voltron,
very, very cheap.
If I ignore the colours and I saw a 3/2 flyer for 2 mana, I would go straight to Voltron. I'd ignore all the other abilities on it.
And there is that other card that you can't be blocked by creatures with flying, which very easily makes Harbin unblockable.
You could have other soldiers in the deck. There'll be soldiers that support Vault On, there'll be some exalted creatures or, again, stuff that you can sacrifice to give indestructible, I'm sure.
It could be built Vault On fairly easy, but it would be linear again.
There's a lot better ways to do it for me. A lot more interesting ways to do it.
Although
it's just a flyer.
No one would see it coming.
Nobody would see it coming. Everybody would be expecting soldiers.
It'd be fun to play once, you know, in your pod.
So either really boring or too hard.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those decks you could have just a little fun deck put to the side, but I don't think you'd use it often because you'd get bored of it.
It is blue-white. Is anyone interested in playing control in this deck, or is that just not worth the effort?
There's nothing on it to suggest control in the text, so you choose another commander if you want it to control.
So next, Hercule, Master Wizard. She's
we call that one.
Ha! It's a magic joke, I got it. 1 blue for a human wizard advisor. She's a 2/4. At the beginning, there's a lot of text. At the beginning of your end step, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. For each card type among non-creature spells you cast this turn, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Once you wrap your head around it, it's quite easy.
Yeah.
My first thought on this is I'd get tired of explaining the card to somebody at the beginning of a game because there's a lot of text.
I think people would zone out when you get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those where I'll just let him do his thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll see what happens.
Right off the bat, I actually really like it.
Yeah, same.
Even as a commander, in the 99, it should go in any blue deck. First of all, any deck with blue in it, I would put it in because that's amazing value. As a commander, it's a little bit harder.
At the very least, you're drawing a card every turn, aren't you?
Yeah, at least. You're going to be building a lot more variance into your blue deck than you normally would.
Yeah.
You think of how many non-creature types there are. Artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, instant sorcery.
This is already
That's why it's a top 5.
It's already a better control commander than the last one.
Yeah. It would refill your hand. This is why Gix needed blue in it. They needed something similar to this ability to refill your hand.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out it's another advisor, another one sneaking in.
Yeah. More and more often supported tribe.
She's a blue wizard. She's going in a wizard tribal deck very easily.
Yeah.
Needs more wizards.
I think you could do a lot with this, to be honest. I would say I would build this.
If you were building it, then would you build a specific way, or would you aim for try and cast one of each 5 non-creature types a turn, or would you just go instants and sorceries?
You could, personally, I'd go down the instants and sorceries. I think.
There's stuff that doubles your triggers as well. So at the beginning of your end step, you copy that triggered ability.
Yeah.
And just go for extra value.
Yeah.
It's not draw cards; it is put them in your hand. So it's
you're not doubling effects on your draw.
Our favourite card, Fairy's Edge of Insight.
Yeah.
Beautiful in blue, but not helpful right here.
Yeah, I could see me building this.
I respect the card, but it's not my style of card. Nothing against the card, but it's not my style.
I enjoy value. I think you can get plenty of value out of this.
I think we'd both start building a similar way. We'd aim for fun value.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start zeroing in on, oh, that's how it works, it would get stronger and stronger to the point where you become a problem.
Yeah.
I'd definitely build wheels as well.
You always do.
That's it. I'm a monster. I'll just all the wheels. So I built as a commander.
I wouldn't, but I do like the card.
So 2/1.
So next we have Liberator as a Balithopter. It's 3 generic mana for 1/2. It's got flash, it's got flying, it's a Thopter. First of all, does anyone like colourless commanders?
I do. I've built Hope of Guapo before. I enjoyed it.
I've never built one.
Right, so no, so we're going to lean heavily on you here, Wonky. So he's got flash for 3 mana. We appreciate that. He's got flying. Just a 1/2. You may cast colourless spells and artifact spells as though they have flash. So it's on theme with a lot of other artifact creatures that aren't legendary. The little mirror that does it.
Yeah, the Shimmermere.
Shimmermere. Would you put Shimmermere in here as well?
I would put it in as a backup.
A bit of redundancy, yeah.
Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast that spell is greater than Liberator Urza Battlethopter's power, put a 1/1 count on Liberator.
It's going to be Vault On, your favourite.
I wouldn't build this. This is the worst kind of Vault On. How your mana curve is going to be off the charts trying to build this.
Yeah.
Are you looking to just play like 4 1-drops, 4 2-drops, 4 3-drops, 4 4-drops?
I think you'd be looking at recurring it more than getting it up to stupid damage. Or use artifact weapons that will pump it fast. You don't rely on the +1/+1 counters. That's sort of misleading.
See, if you ignore the second ability,
you can drop a weapon, it'll add 4 to its power and get a +1/+1 counter, which is 5 power just by dropping a simple low-level card.
so you can flash in Eldrazi.
I was about to say, the reason it says colourless spells and artifact spells is colourless means Eldrazi.
Yeah, I think that's what you're going to see.
The extra bonus on this deck now compared to Hope of Durapor years ago was that now we have the colourless lessons available,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
are sorceries, which can now be spent as instants,
Yeah.
which makes them so much better value as an instant instead of a sorcery.
So it improves some colourless spells. So if we're leaning on you again, Wonky, are you building it Voltron?
I am building it Voltron. I'm currently in the process of building this deck. Whether I'll keep it, I don't know, because it might be a bit too linear for me, but I certainly want to have a go at it.
Any Eldrazi in there?
Yes.
Disgusting. That's.
I've got quite a lot of ramp in there, maybe about 14 pieces.
If you get your ramp out in the right order, it'll make your commander bigger. It's a bit weird.
The ramp helps your commander get bigger, and if he dies, it just helps rebuild it.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but I got some stick last time for saying artifact commanders die to smelt because I run an artifact commander that I forgot about. but he dies to smelt.
Just be careful. If you play other artifact creatures as well, so that it's not the main target, all the other equipments can also attach to the other artifact creatures at will.
And all the cost reduction in
You can drop a Darksteel Mirror, which is indestructible, avoids spell, and then equip the Darksteel Mirror if you need to. If you drop Liberator at flash, and then drop everything else at flash speed onto the other creature, you can't equip necessarily at flash speed, but some will auto-equip.
If you get hit with a Vandal Blast, say turn 7 or 8,
Oh, you're dead.
are you recovering from that?
No.
No, but I've played quite a lot of artifact decks, and it's just the chance you have to take. It's actually
just a
not
big-
as common as you think for a Vandal Blast to take you out.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other
There's plenty of
wrath
other
spells
colours
that take out everybody's decks.
But other decks which have colours in them will have ramped more efficiently. than have
I
spells
don't
in
think
place.
I think colourless ramp is pretty efficient.
I think if someone takes out.
You also have the bonus here of lots and lots of lands that have abilities, lots of utility lands that flood it.
Well, yeah. There's no downside to running utility lands in
You play
colourless
a
deck.
Reliquary Tower, you play
But I
a
think
Rogue's Passage, just put them all in.
the first spell you put in this deck, like first name on the team sheet, is the Ozolith. Because someone's going to kill your commander and you're going to want to keep those counters around.
Yeah.
And then the 5-drop artifact lets you keep your mana if you would be unspent.
The Horizon Stone, is it?
Yep. I'm glad you're here. I know the cards, I'll have to Google them to find the names.
There's
Yeah.
quite a lot of very clever artifacts these days that will really help this deck.
Again, if someone takes out non-land permanents, if someone destroys all creatures, if someone destroys all artifacts.
There's colourless wraths available. There's quite a bit you can do, but it is very, very linear.
There's the good colour. My favourite one is the one where people sacrifice all the coloured permanents they control. That's in colourless because
Yep, it's
that's in there, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, all this dust.
Yeah, all this dust, yeah.
So that's a taste of what's coming up. Thanks for that.
Yeah, can't wait.
You'd build it, I wouldn't.
It's not for me.
I'm building it just as a fun little hobby deck, which I don't intend to keep around.
A fun hobby Eldrazi deck. Understood.
Apart from flashing out Eldrazi.
Oh, there's only a
I'd like to do.
So
We all love Annihilator.
no. So next, Lauren, Disciple of History, 3 and a white for a 3/3. Again, a human artificer. When she or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, return an entire artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. She's an uncommon, so that's enough value in an uncommon, to be fair.
Yeah.
She's mono white, so you're looking at mono white legendaries and artifacts. Again, Wonky, you're our main artifact guy, so a lot of this set's going to appeal to you more than us two.
I like the card, but it doesn't fit properly any of my decks. I have a white artifact deck that does blink, which this card works with. But because it's a human artificer and not an artifact, it's very hard to squeeze it in.
You need to play legendary creatures and artifacts that you can sacrifice.
It's a card I want to put in, but I don't have a slot for it. I think that's probably the best way.
I read this card and I'm not sure where I'd.
But that's as a 99 card. That's a commander itself. You could build around it. But there's Tesha. There's other similar ones.
She's a really poor legendary Sun Titan. I'd rather Sun Titan was legendary. seems nice and easy. I wouldn't build it.
No, I would not build this.
It's not particularly confusing. It's just a bit boring.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think it's just nothing new. It's just a value card, but nothing exciting.
One for the 99 if you can find a space.
Yeah.
So next we've got the other Lauren. This one is Lauren of the Third Path, 2 and a white for 2/1. Still a human artificer. She's got vigilance this time. When she enters the battlefield, destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment, and you can tap her so you and target opponent each draw a card.
I love this card.
Is it because you put it in a blink deck?
I would have it in a blink deck, and I like the card draw. I love the target opponent because it allows for a small bit of political shenanigans.
In a deck, not too bad. As the commander though.
If it was playing against your Liberator Thopter, you'd hate it.
I would hate it in that one. But just destroying targets and artifacts by blinking is just so powerful.
It is.
You can just take out Sol Rings at will.
But then it's got a tap ability as well, which...
You'd have to build a certain amount of protection in there to stop people killing you.
You can tap to draw the cards and then blink it, which will come in untapped again.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot you can do with this with Conjurer's Closet and Teleportation Circle. You can get quite a few blinks in one turn.
I hate Bear, Pillar, Fort, Blink deck. I'll just keep throwing keywords out to
if they go to destroy it, you just blink it again. I think there's quite a bit of hidden power in this one.
She's better than the other Lauren, that's why she's rare instead of uncommon.
Card draw on a white card's always nice, even though it's getting more common now.
Yeah.
I really like stuff that draws my opponent's cards unless I'm wheeling or trying to kill them with card draw.
Yeah.
Which mono white's going to struggle to do.
I think when the first cards with that ability came out, people didn't like them, but from play, they're getting quite popular. People are starting to realise that you can utilise them better.
I think people have realised that mono white struggles so hard they're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, I disagree. I think the political side's quite good. If somebody wants the white one that draws 2 cards for each opponent,
if you blow up my
it's quite a lot
Sol
you can get out of that by asking an opponent to draw 3.
Well, I'm building a political Pramicon deck, and it would sit in that.
It's not for an aggro player, this deck at all.
No.
But for politics, it's quite nice.
I think it's bad politics.
You've also got the politics.
If you're building Blink where you get to blow stuff up, that's bad politics. I'm not trading card draw, I'll kill you.
You can focus on one player and use the politics that way.
They will kill you.
I'd use it once in the 99, I wouldn't be blinking it.
I would be heavily blinking it.
As a political tool in a political deck only.
I think the first ability is good, but like you say, I think if you build a blink, you get to play it once, then people start targeting you.
Yeah.
The second ability makes it a stronger political commander, which it will stop you getting killed. It gives you card draw. And it's about hanging in there in the game until you can get to the last 2 and finding a win con.
Well, to be able to use both abilities, you're going to have to play it, destroy something, full rotation of the table, second ability during your turn.
That's it. There's not
Then blink it, and it's just too long-winded to be able to use everything.
Again, you're looking at the colourless, double triggered abilities, double activated abilities, and even then, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's not a lot of haste out there for white, so
it's not for me.
No,
I like it.
1 for the 99 for me. I can see me putting this in Pramicon.
Next, we've got Mishra, Excavation Prodigy. It's 2 and a red for a human artificer. Really, really sick of human artificers. This one does have haste, because he's red, obviously. It's a 2/1. You can pay 1 and tap him, discard a card to draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, add 2 red mana. This ability triggers only once each turn. I don't know why it needs only once each turn in it. I don't know what you're doing to untap in mono red.
No.
I don't know why
you're relying on artifacts.
That's it. If you find something useful, you'd cast it, so you're going to have cards in hand. How much red mana do you really want to make in an artifact deck? Why do you need the red mana? Why isn't it to add 2 colourless mana? Why has he got haste?
There's nothing about this card really that interests me.
No, I won't play this in the 99 anywhere, or as a commander. It's the young, weak Mishra.
Not good enough to build.
No.
There's nothing interesting.
Could you put him in, like, obviously if we've decided you wouldn't build him as the commander, would you put it in the 99? It's a worse goblin.
On which type of deck would you put it in the 99?
I don't know, a red one that struggles for cards. You'd have to go into mono red, something that struggles to draw cards.
Yeah.
He does add 2 red mana, so it's not a complete
lots
loss.
better ways in mono red to do the things this card's trying to do badly, so it's not for me.
It's not for anyone. Next, Mishra.
Good luck with the name.
Mishra, Tamer of Macflower. That's what I'm going with. Macflower. 3 black red. Still a human artificer. This one's a 4/4, so he's had a bump up. Permanents you control have ward, sacrifice a permanent. I don't know what deck you're building where people want to target removal your stuff over and over again. But if it's that powerful, people will sack a permanent.
I would have a place for this in my Chaser Black Rose deck. A little costly on the mana, but
Really good protection.
yeah. She gets hated out quite quick, so
It could be, I can see how it would be a strong commander. Because you'd run,
Imagine Dictate in this deck.
yeah. You'd run one of the disgusting mono black woman, what's her name? When someone sacrifices something, you get it.
oh yeah.
Turgid.
Yeah, Turgid. You put Turgid in the 99 first of all, and then you just start taking people's stuff.
That does appeal to me.
Yeah, it is disgusting. It's got a second ability once you get past the ward, which is the stronger version of ward. Because ward 1 terrible, ward 2 okay, ward 3 better. Sacrifice a permanent. It's in Rakdos, so board wipes.
Yeah.
The second ability, each artifact card in your graveyard has unearth 1 black red. So it's an artifact set. There's going to be artifact stuff. This feels tacked on a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't see me using the second ability much. You know, if there's something important in there, but I'm not going to build around that.
I would rather run scary black and red demons and creatures and dragons that people want to remove. I don't know what artifact I'd have to play that people want to kill it so bad they have to sacrifice a permanent and I'd want to bring it back.
No.
Colossus Citadel, perhaps.
I think it's a nice little tack on, but it's all about the first ability.
That's it. It doesn't make it much stronger.
Unless you have a few specific pet cards that work with this commander, I don't think there's much sense in running it.
I'd be interested in putting a build together for it. It doesn't do tremendously Rakdos things for me, but in the colours, it can be powerful.
Well, it's not a commander for me, but I would use it in a 99 in the right deck.
Myrrel. Shield of Argive. She's 3 and a white. She's a human soldier. She's a 3/4. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. When she attacks, create X 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token, so X is the number of soldiers you control.
It's more powerful than it looks, I think, this one.
I think it's as powerful as it looks. It's mythic.
Yeah.
So if you don't know much about magic, it's easy to just go, oh, it's mythic, it must be good. Even if you can't figure out why it's good, just assume it's good. It scales really well. It's similar to, I wish I could remember the name of cards today, the Warrior Commander, where when you attack a warrior, you make another warrior.
Yeah.
It wants you to
With
attack,
Grand Abolish
and the first ability protects your attack. I think the first ability is so strong.
Yeah. There's a reason that Grand Abolish is shot up in price.
There's no chance of being fogged or rifted or...
I liked this until I realised it was too strong and a little bit just boring.
Oh yeah, you're going a certain way with this.
I'm not sure why I'd build it as mono white. It's soldier tribal again. It's powerful soldier tribal.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a little bit of balance in there.
It's
Bit of nerfing going on.
It's another powerful token deck.
Yeah.
You're gonna get board wiped though. She's gonna get killed. She's gonna get killed in someone else's end step.
Yeah.
If you're playing against a blue deck, you're gonna hold a counter spell open just for you.
You'll obviously hold in, phase out to favors protection cards, things like that.
Is anyone building mono white?
I'm not building this mono white.
If I didn't already have a token deck, then I'd be interested in it. But
If you
I
like,
wouldn't go out of my way to build it.
if you build it though, are you the type of person who's just trying to win the game because it's got you're not allowed to interact in the first couple of lines of the text?
That's only on your turn, so I don't think it's...
Well, generally,
Yes.
I'll try and win in my turn.
Yeah.
That's when I want. Where's the challenge? If someone kills it, you recast it, and then they can't interact again.
Yeah. I think it's a good, powerful card. It's not my cup of tea, but I can see people building this.
So, not for me. So, up next, Queen Kayla bin Krug. She's 1 red and a white for a 2/3. She's a human noble. You can pay for and tap her, discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. You may choose an artifact or creature card with mana value 1, you discard it this way. Then do the same for artifact or creature cards with mana values 2 and 3. return those cards to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery.
Sounds powerful on the surface.
It sounds powerful. I didn't like it to begin with because, again, I just saw artifact and I was so bored of artifacts by now. But artifact or creature.
Not too bad.
I liked it at first glance, but then I'm starting to wonder how to refill your hand in red and white.
It refills for you. You pay the mana, then you draw the cards.
No, because you're going to be playing some of those cards straight out. That's the idea. So you'll have less cards in your hand.
I don't think you do.
That's it. You discard 6.
The ones that you bring back to the battlefield and the ones you've discarded.
Yeah, you draw 6, and then
I think
3 cards potentially back to the battlefield.
The point of this is with
graveyard.
4 mana, you'd never have to draw a card again.
Yeah.
You'd just play lands on your turn. Then, like I said, turn 1, discard 6, draw 6,
Build
play
your
3
deck
spells.
around 3 mana or less.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 drops. It's sort of Boros aggro without being aggro. It's just very cheap to do.
It's not bad value for Boros, to be honest.
You could build it any way you wanted with artifacts and creatures, like say mana values 1 to 3, and have a really good time.
I think you can make a strong deck out of this.
I think you could make a fun deck out of this.
Again, any of the stuff that untaps so when they enter, disgusting. Any of the stuff that copies ability is disgusting. Artifacts are very strong when you add colourless into it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The fact it has creature cards makes it so much better.
Yeah, you get a Mage Right Stone in this, the 1,000 year elixir in this.
I think the fact you can only activate it as a sorcery doesn't stop it much.
No. It needs a downside, to be honest.
It needs that so you can't just nuke people on their turn.
Yeah. You wait until the end step before your turn, activating this 3 times. It'd be too strong.
I like it.
And I like this.
And in Boros, I specifically like it because it does something different.
Yeah. I like it because it's super open for a build.
Yeah.
Literally anything you want goes in there in red and white.
That's it, yeah.
Build some goblins.
I think you could see
Aggro goblins.
quite a lot of different decks off back of this.
I'm surprised she's not a soldier. Human noble isn't all the human artificers that we've had in human soldiers. Why is she not one of them? She cares about artifacts and creatures. Be an artificer or be a soldier.
Yeah.
Maybe we just had to put the obligatory noble into a deck.
I would probably look at putting a build together for this.
I think I would build this. I like the look of it.
I would build it if I didn't already have decks using the cards I'd want to use in this.
So,
Build it but better with this as the commander.
Yeah.
Would you swap out, if you have a Boros deck, could you take your commander out and put this in and run it the same? Or better? Does this do better than your Boros commander?
No, I don't think it does.
Who is your Boros commander?
Adam and Kedis partners.
That's very specific, that's right.
yeah.
I would argue, if you put Arden and Kedis in the 99, this still does it better. What's the mana cost? Because if you're running it, Arden and Kedis, we know it's artifacts.
Oh, they're both within the curve they're playing out.
I bet
But
they're
you-
1, 2, and 3
You'd
drops.
have to pull
They
them.
are.
If you don't pull them, then
Well, you
what
will.
do they move?
Your
Yeah,
hand will
you-
still be full.
Loop until you get.
I think you could cast more of your Voltron-based artifacts and equipment with this than you could with Arden and Kedis at the helm. And it's card draw built in.
That's it.
Arden and Kedis is good.
Put any other creature.
So really that leads us to, is this good for a secret commander deck? If we nailed it already, you put Arden and Kedis in the 99 and go
I
and
think
find
you'd
them.
struggle.
Maybe
to
not
find
Kedis.
them.
You don't need Kedis, but I don't know. Once a turn, let's say you have 7 cards in your hand and you never drop below that. Every turn, that's another 7 cards. Within 7 turns, that's half your deck.
How likely are you to mill yourself out?
It's possible with this.
It would take you 14 turns
Without any other mill.
without any other mill.
Yeah.
If someone's running a mill,
of any type.
doing it anyway. I wouldn't even build card drawing.
No. Don't need it.
I think
So 3 out of 3 is not bad.
she's a very strong commander.
Yeah. Well done, Boros.
Okay, so next we've got Tornos the Toy Maker. He's 3 green and blue. He's a human artificer. So does someone else want to jump in and say he's a human artificer? Because they're going to think it's just me on a loop.
He's a human artificer.
That's the spirit.
Well, someone else jump in. They might think it's just me on a loop.
Right, he's a 3/5. Whenever you cast a beast or bird creature spell, you may copy it, except the copy is an artifact in addition to its other types. That's all the text he has on him. It's really simple.
Simic value.
You're building beast or bird tribal, or beast and bird tribal.
Yeah.
Why I don't know why it says you may copy it, because I'm going to copy it.
Yeah.
No.
Legendaries.
I'd still do it.
Yeah, why not?
That's it. Because
Let them die.
what if you cast it? You know what? I'm not going to copy it. Counterspell. Should have copied it. You would never not copy it.
Yeah. No, there's not many situations where, unless you're going to get pinged for damage or something. And
If it's going to set off a nasty little combo.
Even off the top of my head, being degenerate as I am, legendary copy effect kicks in. I would sack the original and reanimate it.
Well, yeah.
I would just bring it back.
I actually quite like this.
I like it.
I like the idea of it as well. The theme.
It's one of the more fun ones, the more interesting ones, because the first thing you do when you see it is you go, I'm just going to Google beasts and birds really quickly and come back and see if that's viable.
Yeah. I haven't done that, but
without looking, there's a lot of beasts that are powerful that we just don't think of because it's beast.
There's got to be some good birds and beasts out there to be.
It's one of the ones that's in the right colours for a change. It's green and blue, green beasts, blue birds. It's really simple.
You're going to drop a hoof, why not drop 2?
Yeah, why not?
If you're going to drop a hoof, drop 2. Oh, that's disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting. And it's so easy.
Don't do that.
And it's same for so many cards in Simic, to be honest. Just big, massive fatties that you can just slam down, create a second one, game-ending cards.
On your next turn, if you've somehow not won with 2 creator hoofs, why not just copy artifact and make another one?
I think
In fact, let's go the whole hog and do Rite of Replication because it's in blue.
I think you just built a deck.
Yeah. I want to build that deck. I like this. I think it'll be good for new players. I think
for people who don't want to spend money on a creator hoof, it's still really good value.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to build this one because I don't currently have a Simic deck.
It just sounds fun to me.
What I'm not sure of is how powerful I'm going to build it yet. I know it can be built powerful, but it's whether I want it to be built
powerful. Put a creator hoof and a Rite of Replication then.
Yeah,
turns out it's really quite powerful.
I suppose I could use my creator hoof.
So is that 3 thumbs up?
Yeah,
it's 3 thumbs up. It's a good fun card.
Yeah.
It's on theme.
Got 2 tribes.
2 tribes.
Oh, no one wants to go to war.
I'm trying not to.
Fine.
It was I did well to hold back.
So we'll move on to Titania, Voice of Gaia. 1 green for 3/4. It's a meld commander. She has reach. Whenever one or more land cards are put into the graveyard from anywhere, you gain 2 life. So put into your graveyard from anywhere. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more land cards in your graveyard, and you both own and control Titania, Voice of Gaia, and a land card named Argoth, Sanctum of Nature, exile them, then meld them into Titania, Gaia Incarnate.
And breathe.
I'm gonna say
that is a lot of words.
Right, she's got reach. Does anyone care about reach?
It is helpful.
It's handy.
Are you using it to let's say she's a 3/4.
The basic
early
body
game
of it
flyers,
is
early game flyers.
the basic body is quite dull. It's once you get to the abilities.
Yeah, you're just playing this to meld out.
Yeah. I don't think you'd run it with no intention of melding.
No, you're not running life gain. Maybe play around with some lands, but
I think you'd have to search out that land somehow.
Yeah,
there's a
but
couple
you're
of
in green.
artifacts that do it as well. Yeah.
You're in green.
Rotation.
There's any number of ways to get this card if you want it. This is a card you're going to see melded often.
For reference, the meld, her power is star. She's got vigilance, reach, trample, and haste, which is much better. Her power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. When she enters the battlefield, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You pay 3 in a green, put 4 1/1 counters on target land you control. It's an elemental creature with haste, still a land. That ability, don't really care about.
But vigilance, reach, trample, and haste, not too bad.
Yeah. Is she a long game bolt-on again? Would you run self-mill? You'd have to run self-mill, you'd have to find ways to find that land.
I wouldn't
necessarily
run self-mill, but I would be choosing lands that happily go to the graveyard. Or discard a land cards.
It's your typical lands from graveyard strategy. I don't think it brings anything new, but it is super powerful.
And it's fun because it's meld.
It's powerful if you flip it. You need it to meld. Is it the beginning of your end step we said? Beginning of your upkeep. That's why she's got haste.
Yeah.
No one's letting you get to the beginning of your upkeep.
If you're going to hit with this, you're going to hit hard.
That's it. So you need her out and the land for a full turn cycle to hit your upkeep. No, if someone has the ability to stop that, it's not happening.
If you're doing it early in the game, she's not going to be that big either. She shouldn't come in with massive. She's not getting buffed. She's star.
I think she does get big because you can
theory,
discard some lands to put them in your graveyard and they come back.
So in theory, turn 4, if you manage to meld her, should be a 7/7 with Vigilance, Reach, Travel, and Haste.
Well, that's actually not too bad.
That's 3
But
hits.
it's because you need 4 lands in your graveyard.
That's Elder Dragon stuff.
Yeah, and it brings them back.
There's so many cards now that can mass pull lands.
Then you play a land and she's an 8/8. And you pay 4 and make another land a 4/4. That's 12 power on turn 4.
Sorry, I suppose.
That's it. In theory, if you can get there, if you find the land.
Thing is with this, there was just so many words. I couldn't see the value, to be fair.
I think she'd be a fun commander to play, but I would try and run a sub-theme for when it's just going to be too hard to meld.
Well, I think also the problem here is I don't think you can do it early game because she dies to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that card's exiled. You're not getting that land back. It's gone. You can meld it once. How much protection? She'd have to be indestructible and hexproof. Like unsacrificable. I'd put a salt suit on it.
So can we say it's a fair card then? Or a fair 2 cards?
I think it's pretty fair.
You know, it's powerful, but it's got some downsides.
I would prefer to play against it than play it.
That's it. She comes back because she's your commander, but that land is gone.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it across the table, and I'd love to see it melded.
I'd love to kill it.
Yeah.
I would 100% just kill it and then laugh while I sit there because that was their game plan.
Yeah.
I think not a very good commander actually.
It's not one for me, to be honest.
You'd have
too much text, too much.
If you're trying to win,
green.
It takes too long. If you play an aggro, it's a very risky game. I'm not interested either way.
No, it's not for me.
I like it, but I wouldn't build it.
Next, Takasia, Dig Side Mentor, 1 green, white, blue. She's a human artificer. She's a 4/3. Creatures you control have vigilance, and you can tap surveil 1. You can pay 2 double green, double white, double blue. Exile her from your graveyard. Turn any number of target artifact cards with total mana value 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, only as a sorcery.
Wow.
Thematically, I think it's a great card.
It's
definitely digging.
Because she digs, I love it.
All cards, survey 1, that's nice. It just tops you up.
Yeah. Vigilance, always nice.
That's it. All your creatures have vigilance.
Do I think it's powerful? No.
No, it's not.
Do I think it's fun and a nice thought exercise to build around? Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I think you probably think that way until it gets used once. I think it's more powerful than it looks. It costs 8 mana for the second ability, but it's repeatable. If you have a lot of artifact ramp in your graveyard, or a lot of artifact creatures, it comes out and goes a little bit mental. You
How
just do it again.
You do it more than once because it says exile her from your graveyard?
She's your commander. She goes to the command zone,
But
and then you get.
You'd have to sacrifice her to get her back in the graveyard.
Again, you run either self-mill or completely mill, and just mill everyone and bring it back, and just go mental with artifacts to sacrifice.
I think it'd be tricky to do the ability more than once.
I don't know. It's artifacts. So most artifacts are ramp. If you've got creatures,
you've got green in there.
That's it. To get her into your bin, you've got to sacrifice. Yes, you've got green, so you'll ramp naturally with lands. They have vigilance and they surveil, so you won't even have to work that hard to self-mill. All your creatures are going to help you mill.
I do like the card.
That's it. It's got blue for mill.
Her ability is pay 8, get up to 10 mana value. So it's already efficient.
That's it.
You wouldn't use it unless you
0
had it.
drops, 1 drops, 2 drops.
Let's say you sat across from it. How do you stop it?
Exile.
You'd have to exile her. So
how much exile does a general player run?
That's it. Black, no exile. Red, no exile. Blue a little bit. White exiles. You're gonna struggle. And if you're building this commander correctly, you've probably got some sack outlets in there. Because what you want to do is fill your graveyard with artifacts. You'd have stuff that sacrifices artifacts or sacrifices creatures.
And you do get the vigilance, which is nice.
I think it's like
you
a
can swing.
deck,
You can swing forwards and then tap.
To do.
Yeah, you'd build maybe some pingers in there. Use the blue for pingers or the white sacrifice. You'd attack a little bit, you'd sack and remove stuff.
It's almost like a free surveil because of the vigilance.
Yeah,
it's not quite, but it's close.
The player before you end step, fill your graveyard, sack her, use the ability, bring it all back, rinse and repeat. It's such good value. It's really good band value. It's really good thematically. I don't see anything wrong with the card. I don't think it's too hard to ramp to 8 when she's a 4-drop at all.
I think the ability, it's prohibitive enough so it's not too broken. I think it's a fair card all around this.
It's one of the ones where it's in the right colours as well. We looked at cards before where the abilities don't quite fit, but Surveil in blue, you could fill it with just other Surveil creatures. ETB and Surveil, stuff that gets bigger when you Surveil. It was all
There's some nice white cards that deal with artifacts coming back from the graveyard too, if your commander's out of reach.
There you go, we're getting them on board slowly. I really like it and I would build it. I think it's a very good battle commander.
Not sure I'd build it, but I can see the potential.
I'll try and win you over.
I like it, but I think it's a bit
Would
slow.
you build tokens, lots of tokens? This is a better soldier commander than we've seen from the other intentionally soldier commanders, because it gives them vigilance and surveil. You can bring back all your pump spells, you can bring back all your ramp spells. It digs so quickly. I wouldn't even need to put wheels in here.
It does only pull back artifact cards.
I do see the potential. Probably not for me though.
Look at all the other cards that it's play. We've got in this set the mono white artifacts, the mono black artifacts, 3 colour artifacts. There's not 3 times as much because mono artifacts are colourless, but there's so much extra you can find. Any of your artifact equipment that's coloured.
More Voltron?
More Voltron.
I love the card, but you're not winning me over as to how powerful it is.
I think it's got the potential to be quite powerful.
If someone likes mono white artifacts, this is better. Because the problem with anything that hasn't got green in it is ramp.
Yeah. That's it, you could run it mono white, mono blue if you wanted.
That's it, and if you're playing artifacts, a lot of it's ramp based, you just bring it back and you keep going.
Yeah.
If someone board wipes you, I would run this, again, similar to a board wipe tribal, because I'd just recover so much quicker than anyone else.
Yeah. That green really.
Well,
if you just use green purely for ramp.
Yeah, that's it, green's just ramp. If you want to be really disgusting, the artifacts that let you cycle your graveyard back into your library, you go, oh no, I've milled it, I'll bring it back
again.
And I'll put it back in and I'll just keep going.
Yeah, there's plenty of those around.
You won't mill out.
Just because the abilities cost for me. I know it's supposed to be a little prohibitive, but...
Okay, again, it's in green, so Crippler, right?
There is.
Shame if someone exiles your graveyard after you've played it.
Yeah.
It could happen. Okay, top of your head, an instant speed graveyard hate spell. Go.
Scavenger grounds?
What he said.
Why would you fill it? No, if someone has that land on the battlefield, you wouldn't use the ability.
What do you have to?
Nah. Because it's sorcery speed, you just wouldn't. You'd give all your creatures have vigilance. I'd just pound that person. And say, you know what, I'll stop when you use it, or you're dead. All your creatures have vigilance, what are you going to do? Attack you? I'll kill your creatures and I'll kill you.
I can see that you're excited about this card.
I'm super excited.
I see the potential.
It's so aggressive.
You build it and prove it to us.
I would not build this.
I bet there's already some
I would enjoy watching.
really aggressive builds out there.
I'd enjoy watching.
I'm interested to see you excited about artifacts.
Yeah. I don't care about artifacts. I care about big vigilant tokens and surveilling. Think how much in your decks you normally play. You go, oh, I have the wrong card in my hand. Put it in your graveyard. There it is. Bring it back.
Triplicate Titan could be interesting.
You mean disgusting?
Yeah, pretty disgusting.
Again, just generic stuff. So Sun Tank would go in there. What was the other stuff we were talking about earlier? You could put Lauren in the deck.
Yeah.
It makes all the other monocolored commanders in the set better in her 99.
You put across a good case, but
I'm the only one that cares.
Yeah.
I really like it.
You can have
But
this one.
there's too many hoops for me. Although I love it as a thought.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to play against it.
I'm going to put a build together on deck stats just to prove you two wrong. That's.
Hey, I agree. It's powerful. It's just not for me.
You've got me thinking that I'd like to see some actual decks of it.
That's it. You build it and then.
I don't think you'd even hit
Really
playing against it. Someone would have to build a really degenerate, like, pillar fort deck for you to hate even playing against it.
Yeah,
It's just
I think
value.
it'd be alright to play against. I'd enjoy it. I wouldn't mind seeing this at a table.
Right, we're going to move on because there's more. So we've got Urza Lord Protector up first. He's 1 white blue. He's a human artificer.
Haven't you said that before?
Yeah. This one's a 2/4. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
Good on its own.
That's it. Good on its own. Good. What's the other one? Is it Grand Augustine? Grand Arbiter Augustine.
Yeah.
The one that's always initials and numbers, so no one knows its real name.
Yeah.
Does that, but isn't prohibitive to your opponents. You can pay 7. if you both own and control this and an artifact named the Might Stone and Weak Stone, exile them and meld them into Urza Planeswalker. Activate only as a sorcery. Right, so the Might Stone and the Weak Stone is a 5-drop. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. You can either draw 2 cards, or target creature gets -5 till end of turn. You can tap it to add 2 colourless mana. It can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells. On its own, is that any good?
It's quite weak on its own, although it does have options, which is handy.
Play 5, draw 2 cards, and adds 2 colourless mana.
Yeah.
It's 5 colourless, so it's fast to get out.
So it's okay. If you do get them out and you meld them, you have to pay the 7 to meld them, so it's not an upkeep or an end step trigger. And you get the Planeswalker. You may activate the loyalty abilities of the Planeswalker twice each turn rather than only once. It starts on 7. So
It's quite tough.
It's a big boy.
okay, its minus is a -10, so it'll still take you 2 turns. Its +2 is artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast this turn cost 2 less to cast. You gain 2 life. You can +1 it to draw 2 cards and discard a card. 0 is create 2 1/1 colourless soldier artifact creature tokens. -3 is exile target non-land permanent. -10, artifact and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. So the point here is you +2/+2. Hope it survives for your next turn. -10. It's on 1. You keep your artifacts in this and you just keep going. It's leaning pretty strongly to artifacts, I think.
It sounds quite easy to meld.
Again, it's one of those ones, who's going to let you need 12 mana to do it.
Yeah, it's costly to meld.
I think you need a lot of setup because people
are going to be waiting for
are
this.
going to know what it is.
Yeah.
They know what you're trying to do and they're going to try and stop you.
I know if I was sat at the table with you guys trying to play this, the minute this hits the table, all the artifacts are gone. I'm not going to meld anything.
That's it.
7 mana, massive amount.
You get this out.
It's
you
so
get the
fast to
master.
get the vamp out because the artifacts cost 1 less to cast.
It is.
It is so fast, and
But to get to 12 other people at the table, presumably going to have at least 8-9 mana.
That's it. It's really hard to get a cost reduction on his own ability in blue and white.
you don't necessarily need to get to 12.
That's it. Let's say you cast a Might Stone and Weak Stone for free, which is doable. There's
There's ways to pull it from your graveyard.
And this 7 mana activate the ability.
Very easy to do if your artifacts are costing 1 less.
If someone's got creature removal or bounce spells, kill spells, blink spells, artifact removal spells, like I say, exile, destroy, they're going to use it. Like I say, as soon as they know you're playing it, they're leaving mana open for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's going to get hated on.
You're going to have to time your play as well.
That's it, no one's letting you board right.
You're going to have to wait till somebody else is with it.
I'd run this in a 99 just for the first ability.
Yeah.
You know, it's like is it an Inspector Foundry? You get 1 less, but you get an instance and sorcerers chucked in.
I think it's kind of where you have to sit down at the table and go, look, I don't run the Might Stone and Weak Stone.
Yeah.
I need to can I play the game, please?
Or vice versa. Could you play this commander with the stone, but not actually intend to cast it? Just so people constantly have to hold back the removal, while you can just use the value of the first ability, which is very, very powerful.
You could. I mean, the Might Stone and Weak Stone, it taps for 2 colours, so that's 2 of your 7.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to leave. You can only use it as a sorcery. So as soon as you pass turn, someone's killing them anyway. I'm not taking a chance.
No.
All you have to do is get rid of the Might Stone and Weak Stone.
I think he's the Planeswalker, very powerful.
I would
There's
run
no
him as a
doubt about
commander because his value is just so good. Whether I was even
Intending to meld it or not.
intending to meld, I may do it just if I had enough mana, and why not? Just to see if you can sneak it in.
I wouldn't build this, but if I did, I would not build a Might Stone and Weak Stone. I'd make sure everyone knew that.
Yeah, that would be a rule 0 conversation. This is a cost reducing spell, and that's it.
So try and get cheap artifacts out, and maybe we'll.
Yeah. So would you run it as a commander?
No.
Yes.
Possibly. I'm on the fence.
That's
Yeah.
yes, no, maybe, fantastic.
Yeah.
3 mana 2/4 that gives you such value, ignoring its whole meld side. It's just a good commander.
Although to be honest, I run a lot of instance and sorcery decks, and I think
Was it just
Things-
artifacts? I maybe wouldn't.
I think the cost reduction's not worth it on its own. I think it'd go in a 99 for me actually. I wouldn't build it as a commander.
That's it. If you're not looking to meld it, which is the main point of this commander, what kind of deck are you building?
Yeah, there's better commanders that get cost reductions. There's better instants and sorceries.
In blue and white.
The Augustine film.
So
He's hated.
we'll move on to the next Urza. This one is the Power Stone Prodigy. He's just 2 and a blue, or 1/3. He's got Vigilance. The Human Artificer. You can pay 1, tap him. I'm over it. You can pay 1, tap him, draw a card, discard a card. So it's exactly the same as Mishra, but rather than adding 2 mana, you have to discard an artifact card, and if you do, you make a tapped Power Stone token.
That's the Baby Urza.
Yeah, Baby Urza, exactly the same as Mishra. I would say slightly worse than Baby Mishra. Mishra gives you the 2 red mana straight away. This gives you a Power Stone you can use later. So
Yeah, tapped Power Stone.
I think better than Mishra because it's in blue.
Yeah, maybe that's the...
what? You're going on record now saying blue's better than red, which have the same abilities just because of the colours.
Fight,
Yes.
fight. Support.
You're wrong, and that's fine.
This ain't going to be anyone's commander, is it? If we're being honest.
No.
I can't see anyone building this, not just in our pod, but even out in wild.
No one's building this.
No.
Somebody played this as a commander against me. Just
be
look at the other commanders and see where the threat was.
That's what I'm
You'd be expecting junk, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd kill them last.
Yeah.
Bless them, they're making Power Stone tokens.
I'd
They're
pat
making
them on the
tap
head.
tokens.
Yeah, they're playing on theme.
Are you going to cast for that artifacts? Not interested. you can live for a while.
Yeah. You draw your card and discard it.
So last one. This is the middle of the road Urza, Prince of Krug. 2 white blue for 2/3. Someone wants to say Human Artificer for me.
It's a Human Artificer.
Thank you. Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. So it's leaning towards artifact creatures straight away.
Yeah.
But the second ability makes that easier. You can pay 6, create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature in addition to its other types.
I like this. I think there's...
I like it, but I don't think I'd build this one.
I think you could do some fun stuff with this. I like copying spell. I like value.
6 is quite pricey. That's
You know, this
holding
is,
me back.
You were arguing that artifacts reduce your costs.
Oh,
of
they
this
do
stuff
reduce
earlier.
it.
this is
And
one
I think this is a prime example. Copying, create a token of your Mind Stone, of your Hedron.
This is one of the ones that I would build, so I've looked into it a little bit. And the first artifact you're going to want to copy is a Heartstone.
Yeah.
It reduces the cost of activating abilities by 1.
Yeah, all that good stuff going in here.
So you get one of those out, this only costs 5 to copy.
And then you get a
You make a copy of
3/3
it, then it only costs 4.
3/3 body
you
on
get a
whatever you
3/3.
copy, which ain't bad. You know, there's some powerful artifacts out there.
I can tell you now, I immediately just thought of like infinite combat. Everyone's thought of the same thing. You get a Power Stone out, a Power Stone shard.
Yeah,
And
start creating copies of that.
because it turns them into soldiers, you have to jump through some hoops to make infinite mana straight away. But anything that gives your creatures haste, there's a lot of colourless artifacts to do that.
Yeah.
Or a pair of lightning greaves. If you have a
Yeah,
Power Stone
just
shard
move
with
it
some
down the line.
and some lightning greaves, you make infinite mana.
I'd drop a mechanised production in this deck. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that's it. That's another win.
I think you could go the infinite mana combo off.
The only
I think
reason
you could also build some fun stuff out of this. I don't think you.
I'm not
It's
using.
inherently broken.
I'm not using the infinite mana to win.
No.
I'm using it to make. What's the name of it? I need to find it. There's a 6-drop artifact that when it enters the battlefield, it taps for 3 mana of any colour and you draw 3 cards. I use infinite mana to
just
make
copy
about
that.
about
Coveted
30 of
jewel.
them. A coveted jewel. I'd make about 30 coveted jewels and no one would be able to attack me. Because if they did, they'd take 30 coveted jewels and draw 90 cards.
Wow.
I'll sit there.
Or Gonti's Ether Heart. I'm not sure if that would work as
I
well.
think that's got black in it.
Uh,
If it doesn't, that as well. Oh no, that might be legendary.
It's legendary, but
See,
you could
that
possibly
is-
get it
I
on
probably
a
wouldn't
stack.
go for power with this.
You
I'd
could
go for
possibly get it on
value.
a stack before you exile it.
I would literally make all the coveted jewels and sit there, and I'd have a great time with loads of mana, and no one could hit me.
I think I'd
Unless
enjoy
I bought
playing
one.
this. And I don't generally enjoy Azorius, so
It can go really degenerate really quickly, but you use that degeneracy to build something really fun.
yeah, I think you could have loads of fun with this.
That's it. If no one has a board wipe for your 30 coveted jewels, they're 3/3s. That's 90 power. 2 people are dead.
I think Middle Age Urza is definitely the
EP. This was before the midlife crisis.
Yeah, he's still cool. He's relevant.
I think he's doing really well.
He's doing things. I like this.
I like the idea of a 2-3 dark steel in here. Well, that's just me.
So this is the last one I'm happy with. I would build it.
Yeah.
Build it.
3 out of 3. Not bad.
That's a good finisher for the Brothers' War. We decided this is the best brother then.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's winning. Middle-aged Urza's winning the war.
I don't think he's the best commander from the set, but in the Brothers' War, middle-aged Urza, kicking butt.
Right, so that's how we have from the Brothers' War set. So would you build it? We'll see you next time. It's goodbye from myself, Wonky, and Ninja. Say goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.